Meeting to order. Everybody could please stand for a moment of silence. Member Salzer, did you? Thank you, Member Salzer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
We have 18 members present.
Next is approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to accept the approval of the minutes? Member Daly, Member Bryant. Any comments, corrections? Seeing none, please cast your vote.
Member Elsasser, did you say aye? Okay.
Member.
Mhm. 18 ayes. Next would be proclamations and presentations.
First up, we have a proclamation proclaiming the month of August as National Emergency Management Awareness Month. Jason, Rob?
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
Everyone knows Jason, right? And the great job he does for us here. He does a good job of keeping us posted, too, of everything that he does and is active in the community. So thank you. Whereas emergencies and disasters can occur unexpectedly, posing significant threats to life, property, and the environment, and emergency managers across all sectors and the Peoria County Emergency Management Agency dedicate countless hours to development, preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigate programs to protect the lives and property of all persons. And emergency managers are charged with establishing and maintaining the capabilities necessary to effectively direct, coordinate, and support emergency and disaster response and recovery efforts. And the mission areas of prevention, protection, mitigation, response, and recovery align with the core capabilities identified in the National Preparedness Goal. And the emergency managers serve our community by demonstrating commitment, compassion, and professionalism in protecting the public. And the efforts of our nation's emergency managers have helped millions of community members across the United States recover, rebuild, and become more resilient in the face of adversity. Now, therefore, I, James C. Dillon, Chairperson of the Peoria County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do hereby proclaim the month of August as National Emergency Management Awareness Month in Peoria County in conjunction with National Preparedness Month in September. Signed this 14th day of August, James C. Dillon, Peoria County Chairperson, and Rachel Parker, Peoria County Clerk.
Thank you. I just want to thank the board again for recognizing August as Emergency Management Awareness Month. It's important for us to be aware of these things, and particularly, I would be remiss if I didn't thank the board for their support and everything we've dealt with, and particularly County Administrator Sorrell, as we've dealt with some funding concerns over the last several months and did take some reductions. He's assured us and worked with you all to assure us that we'll have the funding necessary. We don't have to worry about going backwards with any of our where we're at. We can maintain our services. So myself and our staff, we appreciate your guys supporting us in that manner as well. So thank you. So Scott, thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Next, a proclamation recognizing Big Hollow Companion Animal Hospital.
Whereas Big Hollow Companion Animal Hospital is a locally owned, full-service general veterinary practice and was founded by Carrie Tuttle in 1976 and will celebrate 50 years of caring for pets and animals in the greater Peoria area in 2026. And whereas Dr. Adam Malcolm started at Big Hollow Companion Animal Hospital as a kennel assistant in 1996, became an associate veterinarian in 2001, and is today the sole managing partner of the business. Big Hollow Companion Animal Hospital employs several skilled professionals and is part of a veterinary group that has grown to 7 locations around the state, including Peoria, Bartonville, Lakin, El Paso, Bloomington, Alpha, and Winona. Now, therefore, I, James C. Dillon, chairperson of the Peoria County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do hereby recognize Big Hollow Companion Animal Hospital as an outstanding, locally owned and operated veterinary practice celebrating 50 years of business in Peoria in 2026.
She stated most of what I was going to say. Simple thank you to the board and Ms. McCann. It's really, really great to be recognized. Pretty special. Step back and think about having done something for 30, 40, 50 years. It's great for the recognition. Thank you.
Next is citizens' remarks.
We have one, Michelle Compton and Gretchen Pearsall.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Compton. I am the Child and Family Health Program Coordinator at Peoria City County Health Department. Have been there for about 10 years. My staff and I work with parents and families in the community on a daily basis. And Gretchen and I are here tonight just to speak in support of the proposed parental policy that was a discussion item at the July County Operations Committee. We encourage the board not only to consider adopting the policy, but we ask that you also consider expanding it from the current proposal of 2 weeks to 6 weeks. So we're going to talk a little bit about some points to that. The evidence is clear. Longer paid paternal leave is linked to healthier families, healthier babies, and stronger communities. The Academy of Breastfeeding Medicine's 2024 position statement found that extended leave supports successful breastfeeding, improves maternal recovery, and reduces rates of postpartum depression. 6 weeks is the standard time that an obstetrician asks new mothers to heal. Many are on restrictions, and that allows both parents and children the time to adjust, heal, and establish a strong foundation for their child's health.
On a personal note, while my days of newborns are behind me, I still very vividly remember having conversations with my own spouse about whether he can take off 4 weeks instead of 2. Are we financially stable enough to do this? And what I just encourage the board to look at is, how can we get parents to be present in the first weeks of birth? I've also been that person wondering not only about children, obviously it's a very important time, that first 6 weeks. It's a very important time for that birth mother who maybe can't even get out of bed at that time. That spousal support is critical also during that time for their support, not just the newborn. And when both parents can be present in the weeks after birth, we see stronger family stability and better mental health outcomes for all. And I hope we can agree that these are things that our Peoria County team members, we want for them. Knowing that you don't have to worry about income during that period can make everyone breathe just a little easier and focus on the family. Peoria County has an opportunity to join, and we hope set the bar a little bit higher for local governments. As an example, many of the state employees that work side by side with many of us receive 10 to 12 weeks of paid paternal leave, something the current proposal would still fall short of, but by adopting 6 weeks, we would take a very meaningful step forward, aligning with research that identifies 6 weeks as a critical threshold for parental and infant health, and signaling that we value our employees' well-being. Allowing employees time to fully recover, bond, and adjust without the stress of how to cover their bills during this time can only help our organization in the long run. Importantly, I believe this can be done in a budget-neutral way. Positions are budgeted for the year, whether someone is actively at work or on leave for any reason. We don't try to guess if someone's going on maternity leave or parental leave or taking a leave of absence as we're budgeting. This is really about structuring our benefits in a way that supports our people when they need it most and how they need it most.
I just have a few more points to consider. One thing is that most licensed daycares do not accept babies under 6 weeks, and not everyone is fortunate to have family members or friends that are able to watch their children. So that can mean that those that do have to return for fear of losing their job are often left scrambling for safe, reliable care in one of the most critical times of development. Working in the WIC program every day, I'm also a certified lactation counselor, so we talk to our participants about advocate for paid leave, talk to your employer about paid leave. And then I have staff that I say, I'm sorry, we don't have any paid leave. So it just puts us in a position where we are advocating to help support community members, and my staff are those community members, and I'm not able to support that. So just kind of looking internally for the things that we are promoting with health equity. Additionally, some points on paid parental leave. Improved retention, decreased costs associated with turnover and the rehiring when somebody leaves, and then you have to go through the rehiring process. It demonstrates employer support for their employees, making them feel valued. In a field where, especially public health, where we are not always competitive with salary and don't provide substantial raises and high salary, it is a drawing factor. I have staff who are incredibly passionate about the work that we do, and some of them truly just cannot afford to work there as much as they would love to. So having that paid leave is a really good benefit to staff and can help us to draw some incentives for staff recruitment and retention. And then additionally, the 6 weeks would really allow supporting lactation. Actually, August is World Breastfeeding Month, so we know there are tons of benefits with lactation, both for the parent and the baby. Decreases several health risks for the parent, including different types of cancers, diabetes, cardiovascular disease. For baby, decreased risk of asthma, allergies, digestive issues, even sudden infant death syndrome. And so what that means is that employee will likely have less sick leave upon returning because they're likely feeling better. They've had time to heal and rest, and having more long-term health benefits as well. And then the breastfeeding also has a significantly helps financially in the cost of formula. We know there have been formula shortages. Formula prices are very high, and breastfeeding can help feed the baby without that additional financial burden of formula. And then finally, just considering the social determinants of health and the poverty associated with unpaid leave, and then the fear of losing their job afterwards. So in summary, we just urge you to consider the 2 week, and would very much encourage you to consider expanding that to the 6 weeks to align more with best practice. So thank you guys very much for listening.
Thanks. Next we would be to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to put the consent agenda on the floor? Member Salzer, Member Renaud. Would anybody like anything pulled from the consent agenda? Seeing none, please cast your vote. As we vote, though, I appreciate employees coming to talk about that. Member Ricker in Operations Committee, I do believe that was negotiated, and I will give credit to the laborers, Local 165, and Matt Bartolo's negotiating team. That was a huge sticking point in their negotiations for the contract back and forth, and it was brought to the committee's attention, and I don't think anybody really blinked and thought it would be a good thing. So I'll ask either Shauna or Scott or Member Ricker if they want to expand on it. That what we're voting on tonight only really affects the highway department in its current form.
Just from an operations standpoint, Chairman is accurate that the contract with the highway did include 2 weeks of paid leave that coincides with the FMLA policy that we already have for employees. So that's what's in your agenda tonight. The Operations Committee last month went through a discussion, so you can look at that committee meeting. It's online or recorded. You can hear our conversation around having a paid parental leave. So that's would be coming up in our August committee meeting for a review for approvals. But that discussion was around 2 weeks to match what we put into a contract with the highway department. So I don't know if that helps give you a little more clarification. So the highway department will be on tonight, and there will be a future, if it gets through committee, there will be a future item to add paid parental leave across the county for all employees.
Thank you, Member Ricker. Member Blair.
Just a query on that. If we were to decide to have more than that, does that impact the agreement? Do we have to make an amendment to it with the highway department?
So,
how does that work if we make things, you know?
that would be a discussion across for the county.
Great question to ask. We'll have that discussion. I don't know if Shauna has any other input, but that'll be a point we'll take in consideration.
Thank you. I just wanted to make a clarification so that everybody understood where we're at and where we're headed. Seeing none, do you have the votes?
Member Alcesser, how would you like to vote? I can go ahead and mark you. Aye. Eighteen ayes. Next, we'd be at zoning ordinances and resolutions. Item number 9.1, zoning case ZBA -2025-0035, petition of Trent Overview, a request to modify special use number ZBA 2025-004, which was approved to allow for the conversion of existing retail space into indoor mini storage in accordance with section 20-5.8.2.4 of the Unified Development Ordinance, which allows for mini storage facilities in the C2 General Commercial Zoning District. The petitioner proposes to modify the request to include the construction of outdoor mini storage bays.
Member Rosenbaum. Member Rulon. Member Rosenbaum.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is one that we voted on earlier in the year, and they wanted to come back because they were wanting to put it outside storage also. In the beginning, they didn't have a very good plan. They hired a local engineer to design the site, which shows detail on the fencing, lighting, access aisles, and security. We've talked with the local fire and sheriff about the design to ensure it met their public safety standards. On a side note, the petitioner testified he's been involved in approximately 30 different projects converting vacant retail space into storage units, and one of them that probably everybody knows is the Cube Smart, located in Pioneer Parkway, and formerly the Shopco. So I'd like everybody to vote for it. I think it's a good use to use space that isn't being utilized right now, and I don't know what else we would do with it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Member Rosenbaum. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Doesn't look like it's open.
No, it's flashing. It's really strange, but it's open. I can see the microphones. Okay, looks like we got everybody. "17 ayes and 1 nay, with Member McCann voting nay. Item 9.2. Strong Communities Program Grant Award Extension Budget Appropriation deferred from the July 10, 2025. Illinois Housing Development Authority Strong Communities Program Grant Award Extension Reallocation.
Member Rosenbaum. Member Rosenbaum.
Basically, this is one I think we had to table last month because we didn't have a quorum. And so I think we got enough people here to get this passed and get it back in the budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Rosenbaum. Any comments, questions? Seeing none, please cast your vote.
It's doing it again. It's weird. It's like "18 ayes. Item 9.3, Collective Bargaining Agreement with the Police Benevolent Labor Committee Lieutenants. A resolution from your County Operations Committee recommending approval of the collective bargaining agreement between Peoria County and Police Benevolent Labor Committee Lieutenants Unit and a corresponding budget amendment of $73,000.
Member Ricker. Member Coates. Member Ricker.
So this is the third agreement with the Sheriff's Department. So all three operating units out there, the corrections, the deputies, and now lieutenants have had recent updates for their bargaining agreement. This one is a 3-year agreement that provides, I think, some good terms for the lieutenants group, and also gives them, there's a minor adjustment to help with wage compression between them and the deputies. But this is a really good contract, I think, for all parties, the county side and the union, so I would recommend supporting it.
Thank you to everybody involved. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, please cast your vote.
"18 ayes. Item number 9.4 is a resolution from your Executive Committee recommending an appropriation and investment of $50,000 to the Heart of Illinois Regional Port District in FY 2025.
Member Allison, is there a second? Member Williams. We do have Chris Smith and Dan Silverthorne at the meeting if you have questions or if they would like to address the board, but we did vote on it in the previous meeting. To Paul's question, for clarification, the $250,000 in there for consultant was actually done from the previous study that the state had helped pay for him for strategic planning. It says to be successful, a port authority should have a budget of $250,000 a year. So to that, the consultant clarification, a consultant says you need $250,000. Member Ricker.
Yeah. Just make a few comments for the record. I have been asking a significant number of questions of the team, and they have been answering, so I appreciate that work. So I reached out to other organizations and some Congress side to find out where this fits. You know, I think there's good opportunity for more use of the ports and support of our ports here, especially along the Illinois River, and especially in our agricultural community and some of the other industries that use the ports. The thing that I think we're still gapping a little bit is the budget that the Ports Authority or the Ports Heart of Illinois Regional Port District still would like to see their budget for FY25 and upcoming 26 and results for any future request. But with this, I am recommending to approve this, so I will vote yes for this first. And I would ask as they continue their work, keep the board informed of their progress, of the results and budgets, if they have any consideration for asking for future funds.
Thank you, Member Ricker. Any other questions? Member Allison.
We did just obviously have this discussion, but would we be able to have a few minutes for them to
Yes.
come on up here?
And Chris, you weren't here, but I did volunteer you for anybody that wants to meet with you, that you'd be happy to discuss ports with them.
Great, thank you.
Oh, there's a microphone up here, Chris. Which, if you haven't met Chris, Chris is a native Chillicothe boy who went on to serve our country in the military, currently living in Iowa, but heavily invested in the area and the ports around here, and spends quite a considerable amount of time still in the Peoria area. So,
I actually live in Kansas City.
Kansas
so
City.
Close.
Sorry.
But yeah, I grew up in Chillicothe, in the military for 20 years, came back and still want to do some work here in the region. So thank you. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity to say a few words, and thank you everyone for your support, and thank you for the question. We'll be happy to provide responses back. And yes, the offer is on the table. We would enjoy the opportunity to have conversations. So just a few general comments. The state of Illinois is based on tonnage, is the 8th largest importer of products in the U.S. Inland water-wise, we're second behind Kentucky and within a roughly 5 million tons. So we anticipate that to grow. On the Illinois waterway itself, roughly on average, about 25 million tons of product. Let me take a step back. Let me introduce my boss, Dan Silverthorne, over there. Dan's been with the Port District for quite some time. So anyway, of the products that are moved, of the roughly 25 million tons, roughly 60% of it is from our farmers, the ag products. So tremendously important system for the farmers and those that support the farmers. Our focus is one of our focus is bringing in state and federal funds for our multimodal infrastructure, so that the system, the waterway, the locks, are upkept. So we're pleased with the results that we've had up to this point, and we appreciate the support that you're providing to the Port District. And one last comment: as we move into this, based on the bipartisan infrastructure law, there's one more enhanced funding cycle available for federal dollars, and we encourage industry to the comments. We encourage industry to take advantage of this because it's a great way for industry, private industry, to gain up to roughly 80% of capital improvement funding from the feds to support their expansion work. So if there's any industry that's looking to do some or is thinking about doing some work, we'd encourage them to reach out to us, and we'd be happy to have conversations to assist them in that process. They just need a eligible applicant to work with. So we want to work with them. So thank you for the opportunity to talk.
Member Alcester.
Well, I just dumped a load worth 56,000 pounds of soybeans here about 3 hours ago, so I helped added to that total. But it's so important for the American farmer to be able to shift, get our corn and soybeans and fertilizer and all kinds of products, up and down the river. Where are we at as far as any major work on the lock-in dams here around down by Pekin and that area?
Great question. So, from the Fed's perspective, they've identified a capital investment strategy. And in the upper miss, they've identified priorities, right? So for the Peoria lock to become funded, LaGrange has to be constructed. So we're pleased to announce that LaGrange has been fully funded for design and some long lead time contracts for products to support it. So that's a great step in the direction of making sure Peoria lock is upgraded also. So I'm sure we're all aware that the locks in the system are very old. And 600 foot, what we're talking about now is upgrade to a 1,200 foot lock in the LaGrange area and eventually into the Peoria area. Over the past 3 years, they just went through a major lock rehab, which was the first time that's happened. So that was roughly $500 million was spent on that for the system, right? And so that's also good news. So thank you for the question.
I talked to the Farm Bureau today, and they're obviously very strong supporters of your work as well.
Yeah, the Farm Bureau has been supporters throughout this whole process, and we're very appreciative of it because we understand and we want to support the farmers and making sure the system, the infrastructure in the waterway is upkept so that we can move products on the waterway itself. So thank you.
Chris, I also did offer up if anybody would like to be on your email list with the information and reports that you give to get with you.
Oh, good. We appreciate that because we'll add you all in there then. So we send information out frequently.
Any
We
questions?
didn't know if we were going to flood your inboxes, so just put us in the spam folder if that happens, or let us know.
Any other questions, comments?
Oh yeah, thanks, Dan. I'll be sending out an invite. We have our annual meeting coming up on November 7th. And we'd appreciate your attendance because we want to make sure we're passing information out to you. There's no charge, food's provided. So those are usually some of the stumbling blocks, so we want to take care of all that. So having you there is the important thing. So we'll send some flyers out. Be one of the first emails coming out from me, so be looking for it. So thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, please cast your vote.
18 ayes. Next is miscellaneous and announcements.
Member Elsesser, we'll start on your end. All right, we'll come back to you. Member Blair.
I just want to wish luck to all the students who are starting out a new school year.
Member Phelan.
I'd just like to ask the administrator, I know last meeting there were several comments made about the health department and status of. I understand there's been several meetings. I know last week in the weekly update there was a blurb in there, but would ask if that would be included in Friday's update as well.
Happy to add that to tomorrow's update, Mr. Phelan.
And my comments are related to that. Member Kelch and Member Phelan, I think, have done us a great service to elevate that punch list process. The building itself was a great success, but from my vantage point, I don't think we did a fantastic job of getting it all punched out and getting some last-minute details wrapped up. So kudos to Dan Kelch and Danny Phelan for elevating the priority level there.
Member McCann.
If I can back up just a second to say there has been some structure there now. That list is proceeding rather than wait for the update. You please know that a lot of things that were on that list have been checked off. Some of them are a little bigger than others and may take a little more time, but it is proceeding.
Thank you, Member Ruin. Member McCann.
I was wondering if we were going to get updates on the status of the outside of this building, if we were going to start getting, as far as how we're doing on our time frame, if we were going to start getting updates on that.
We're happy to try and put together a recurring update for the board in terms of how we'll just say the four projects we have going on at the courthouse right now, which include the plaza work outside, the tuck pointing project, which is almost done on the exterior of the building, and then there's 2 interior remodeling projects. I'll ask Assistant County Administrator Smith to start to prepare a document that we can update on a regular basis and share with the board and the infrastructure committee.
Administrator Sorrell, you had some other
2 things, Mr. Chairman. First, you should have, earlier in the week, you should have received updated meeting requests for those of you that attend the Tuesday committee meeting. So it's Operations, Health, Public Safety, Finance, and Exec. Those that will occur on Tuesday, August 26th. We will be at the museum for our annual museum report. And then second, just a reminder from Gretchen and the communications team, and also members Renault and Groves Allison on the bicentennial side, that voting is open for the mini bison contest.
And on that exec meeting, just so all board members, even if you're not on exec, are invited to that meeting. We will be having a conversation, follow up on the jail. The sheriff will be present to discuss options. And also I've asked, we had already moved off Denise Moore and the Minority Business Incubator off a month. So she's going to come. I've asked it to be about 5 minutes, and I also asked for about 5 minutes because we've pushed off the Visitors and Convention Bureau and JD and his team to come speak. These are the yearly asks for them to come and say what they've done with the money that we've given them for the prior year before budget season. So with budget talk going on, I've just said, please try to keep it in 5 minutes, and then we'll have questions, not a very long presentation from them, but I thought it was important that they still talk. Kudos if you saw tonight. Appreciate Andrew Braun and his team. There was 14 names for the Planning Commission that will be assembled to go back, and that was no easy task to get that many volunteers. Everybody knows getting volunteers for anything now is not the easiest thing, but
There was 14 on there, and he worked extremely hard to get that. So much appreciated, and just didn't want that to get swept under the rug. And lastly, before our next meeting, it'll be Labor Day. And that is a day honoring the men and women of labor. There is something different this year. We've always had a parade in Peoria that had walked through downtown. It has been moved, and it is a family event, and I encourage everybody to come and do it. We're really going to try to focus on family this year. So we have moved the parade. We had multiple proposals. We moved the parade from downtown Peoria, and nothing to get it. I get it. People don't want to work and serve food, but we had a lack of food vendors. So we have moved it. One of the proposals was West Peoria has done the St. Patrick's Day Parade down Farmington Road, and it has encouraged all the businesses down there have gotten really behind it. The proposal is it's going to start a little later. Instead of 10, it will start at 11 a.m., kick off from Laura Bradley Park, march down Farmington Road, and end at Rabers with West McQueen Street Band will be playing. Buddy at Rabers has secured multiple bouncy houses. We have face painting. We have balloons for the kids, and it will also have free hot dogs for kids. So if you want to come out and have something to eat at Rabers and a cold beverage and watch or participate in the parade, just wanted to promote it from that perspective. So the more the merrier, and that is all free for everybody to attend with those events. Anything else? Member Alsasser.
We went to the Peoria Chiefs game the other night, and I have to confess I'm not as strong of a supporter as I should be. I should be there more often, but it's a very worthwhile occasion and very entertaining, and a really good product is out there, especially since they're the Cardinals. No, I was just kidding. But anyway, it's pretty tough to keep up with Pete Vanaken and the program and the show that he was able to put on, years ago. And I just hope they can make it, because there's just not that many people there. So I would encourage you to go down there if you can. And I think almost every Friday and Saturday night they have fireworks afterwards, which is nice for the kids and everybody.
All right, still pretty quick meeting, 45 minutes. Anything else? Member McCann.
Regarding the meeting on Tuesday, seeing how we're like consolidating them again like we did at the jail, what time will it commence? Will it be, because last time I believe it was moved to 1 o'clock or something?
We'll probably have the normal meeting schedule, but 5 o'clock tomorrow is the deadline for offices and departments to submit agenda items. So we'll know on Monday kind of what each committee's agenda will look like. We'll talk to the committee chairs and vice chairs of the Tuesday committees about how they want to structure their meeting. And then if any changes in the start time get made, we'll communicate that out via changes to the meeting request, like we changed the location earlier this week.
Anything else? If not, thank you. Meeting adjourned.